Top of the morning, once more. It's me, 5D, back again. Don't know why I'm speaking like that, but I am back with Deep Feed 7. This one titled Is Less More? A play on the question people sometimes ask. The thing people say, less is more, about like minimal music. This one, Is Less More, is all about minimal drum and bass. As minimal as drum and bass can get. This varies between sort of sounding a bit like drum and bass, not entirely sounding like drum and bass, and being very minimal and being just a little bit minimal. I'm going to play this morning. I'll be back in a sec to talk about new tunes. It's all this stuff played at 172 BPMs. First track, a little bit trancey. It's by Bungle. What a great name. Just makes me think of Zippy and Bungle, of course, the classic children's TV duo. This is Cocooned. And I will shut up and just let the track drop now. Bungle there, not from the iconic duo Zippy and Bungle, but the producer of drum and bass music. It's pretty good as well, very good in fact. I think I first heard him on an EP. Oh crikey, I'm about to try and fill you in on some information, and I can't remember the name of the label. It's a good one though. So if you type in Bungle Cocooned, you may find the release on the label that it's on. I think it's Doc Scott's imprint. Not 100% sure. I'm sure it is actually. I think, but I don't remember the name right now. See me. So moving on to something definitely actually way more minimal. Here it comes. Yeah, it's 1001 by Clarity. This one is sparse, so it fully fulfills the title of this podcast. Yes, I like Clarity. There's quite a few good tunes coming out of that alias. This is 1001. Here we go. Minimalicious. That was definitely that. Up next we have Dead Peak
by D-Bridge. If you haven't heard of D-Bridge, go get your map of drum and bass and have a good look at it. Famous originally for being one of the founding fathers of I'd say, Tech Step, with Bad Company, the original late 90s Bad Company, bad man. Yeah, they just made this murky stuff. Yeah, in fact, if you want to check that out, just check out Bad Company if you don't know about it. They made one of my favorite tunes ever, The 9, which is just insane. Check that out too if you've got a moment. But this is him doing way more minimal, as he sort of has progressed into it. He's chilled out in his later years, obviously. Yeah, I love D-Bridge. I actually did a whole podcast on him about a year ago, just especially dedicated to him. Quite an inspiration. Really good artist. He's gone into more, like I say, he's chilled, and he's gone into more diverse arenas of different sounds. And here is his track, Dead Peak. This one has some lovely instrumentation in it, and a voice going whoa, something like that. As usual, I'm not going to continue with my impressions. I'll just leave it for you to hear with your own ears. Yes, running. yeah, D-Bridge there, soothing your soul with a chilled offering. Next we have again minimal sound. It's got a T-Man in it. I don't actually know where he's from, but he's quite a very good MC. And it's him just being murky, very murkalicious. I'll let that play in a sec. My brain's melting. Oh, that's right, it's dub physics. And possibly skeptical? I'm not actually 100% sure. Definitely dub physics, possibly skeptical. These guys I'm sure are from up north. I'm not 100% sure where. But yeah, it's great stuff. And I will shut up now and just let him say it how I can't. Yeah, this is Run It Like the President. Great name too. Here we go.
Give me a Parker pen, I need to spark again. Step in the light to bring you guys into the darker end. They tried to play the hero, so I'm here to martyr them. To prove I keep it real in every line, not even half pretend. If you've been starting trouble, you need to start amends. Cause in the music game I'm rolling with the harder men. Spanish and Romans, I'm even coming with Spartan friends. Doming it like Bin Laden's then, scoping it through a sharper lens. Cause I am taller than all your man, you a smaller fam. I'm like the weed, I'm illegal outside the board of damn. Coke, acid, my mind works rapid. I'm trapping guys like a magnet. When I get the grip I torture man. Still down for fun times, chilling in the sunshine. Bud grinds, enough time, suck high. But I ain't a silly billy, lyrically you will never touch I. One press will stop you in your tracks like a bus ride. Right, 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 my mind works rapid. I'm trapping guys like a magnet. When I get the grip I torture man. Still down for fun times, chilling in the sunshine. Bud grinds, enough time, suck high. But I ain't a silly billy, lyrically you will never touch I. One press will stop you in your tracks like a bus ride. Right, 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 I run it like the president, minister, evident, 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 evident. I run it like the president, minister, evident, 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 evident.
and minimal, which is probably a harder thing to pull off than just hectic and hard, if you see what I mean. But I don't know, I might not be right. I think I am. Especially it does help having experience in attempting to produce music, to know what you're talking about in these circumstances. Crikey, I'm going to drink some more tea. While I do that, I'm going to run the next track, which is Treading Water by Scar. Now, this is one of my favourite artists ever in the history of drum and bass. They fail to hardly ever release a bad track, I think. Or, no, I don't mean a bad, but one that I'm not really into. And they've made quite a few of my favourite ones ever in the history of music. Scar. Here we go. Treading Water. Check this one out. It's brilliant. Scar there, staying afloat by treading water. Yeah, that's a stomper, definitely. It's got the wobble as well. The boop, 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 boop. That is the official sound of the bass, as rendered by 5D. Bright and early. Maybe not in your ears, but from my mouth, it's definitely bright and early this time of the morning, as usual. Like I like to say. I'm looking forward to some breakfast. Pick up the wife from her job soon. And I'm not going to work today because it's still New Year's Eve holiday. Whoop! If this is past and you're listening to this weeks into the month, weeks into the year, I'm not on holiday. I apologise for reminding you of that whilst being on holiday, even though I won't be on holiday when you are now. Not, if you see what I mean. I'll be back at work too. But in the meantime, let's just celebrate with the less more. Now this track gets the prize for one of the longest intros ever in drum and bass. Up there with, of course, one of my favourites, Hollow Moon VIP by CERN, spelled C-E-R-N. Not going to play that today, but that also has one of the longest intros in the history of drum and bass. You know what? These people can get away with intros this long. These two tracks, I'm specifically mentioning. The reason being is the track itself is so amazing that you can just happily spend 3 minutes noodling at the beginning, because then it doesn't disappoint when it finally comes in. So yeah, this is Skeptical and Alex Perez with Taurus, named after my star sign. Don't know if that's good. Well, I mean, obviously it's just a coincidence. Banging tune coming up. Here we go. Taurus. I'll just let the end of the intro soothe you. Here we go. Before the unsoothing. Here we go. I've said that 3 many times now.
Oh, you know that I do adore you. You can't get away from me, boy. Oh no. Oh, I won't let you get away, boy. You can't get away from me, boy.
Yes. I'm not sure of the name of the vocalist there, but I really love it. She's got an incredible voice. Yeah, so we're getting, this is a short podcast this week. Sorry if you're like, oh, I need to hear more chat. You're not gonna, but you'll hear more another week. This is less than usual. It's less in amount of total tunes and less in chat. But I'm going to drop Delusions of Grandeur now. That's by Skeptical. Again, this track is just a trippy one. And then it goes up and down with the filtering or the pitch or something. But it's definitively trippy. And a bit minimal too. So it's why it fits in this category. Here we are, Delusions of Grandeur, Skeptical. Running. Skeptical, Delusions and Ganja. Now I'm going to finish this podcast with one of the pair of masters of the music known as drum and bass. Quite a minimal one. That'll be Chimpo emceeing on top of a Caliber track, Start Again. Running now. I'm not going to say much more today, except join us next week for As Low As You Can Go. This is with NJC again. We got him back in the studio for the third time, making him at this point, equal with Danesh. If Danesh, I managed to get him for another one before this, they'll be on 3 each for number of guest appearances. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because the track's going to come in. And we're just doing all sub-specific music. It's not just drum and bass, it's all subby music. That'll be next week. How low can you go? Actually, well, I don't know what I just said. But yeah, here we go. Have a good one, guys. Take care.
We pop bottle tops, fill sonic molotovs, chill. Bill sound, kill up the top of tops. Ice grilling up gorillas in the midst. Drunk up in a karate suit, chilling in the bits. And this one's bad for your posture. Got the crowd busting back flips, it'll cost you. Cause every time you bust it in a rave, got half of the capacity, putting in a clean. High caliber, bass cone damager. Take over everything, smile for the camera. Screw face rambler, in the rave stumbling. Eyes dilate from you hear the bass rumbling. Bleach out, sleep deprivate, meditate, hallucinate. Chill, go bed and recuperate. And who knows where the party ends, cause just when you think it's all done, we start again. Subs talk first, 34 hertz for girls in short skirts. Guys in the back with the eyes in the cap. All high as a kite with the minds in the trap car. This one's not for a Facio. Man, I've been bad since 2 tape decks and the Casio. Bad since Thundercat bed sheets. 10 years ahead whilst you thinking about your next tweet. We're so doubly exclusive, you can bring us out in a hologram like Snoopy's. Get stupid, get dumb, get brain dead. Step up in a clash and get the war stained red. Sound killing out here, no chilling, cause you're dealing with a villain out here. Right off a soundboy with a Parker pen and juts. When you think it's all done, we start again.